Hi, welcome to the High Fiber Diet. This is Kagi, and this is, what is it? Episode 3? Season 2? I don't know. Somewhere along in there. I thought I'd pop in this week. It's been a crazy week. Just a lot of stuff done, but it doesn't feel like anything done. Come here, you want to say hi, Cupid? Yeah. Little guy here. The other one's right up there asleep, and Spot's wandering around, just had snacks. So hopefully they're all calm and we don't have lots of zoomies this time. I know some people enjoy them, others do not. Yeah, I had everything set up for an interview earlier today, so I figured why not just come on and show you what I've been doing this week. In my, of course I can't think of the name of it, right? Cedar Hill Farms bag. I am doing my sister's favorite things shawl knit along from Cozy Up Knits. And if you haven't gotten through clue 4, I'm ready for clue 5 tomorrow. I am making this out of Knit Crate's sparkly yarn in roller skate. It's a gray sparkle. Don't know if the sparkle is going to show up or not. And then I am using Story Weaver yarn in a very hairy Christmas colorway. And I am through 4 of the colors. I still have 1 more to go. And we'll see if that plays in or not. They had us break the last, so I did clue 1, clue 2, clue 3. Was that right, or was that 1 and 2? I don't know. Clue 4's down here. We had the stars. I think the stars were 3. So this must have been 1 with the red. Then clue 2 was the buttons. Clue 3, I did stars, and of course I had to. I ran out of the brown, bronzy color, so I had to go into the blue. And then I've gone into the green with short rows. And I have this, I have moved it onto, my cord wasn't long enough on the other. I've moved it onto Chiagu needles. And that knot stitch that I'm calling the stars are, I needed the pointy stitch, the pointy tips on this. These are the Smart Sticks, and these are the Chiagu. And you can see the difference in the tips. And this has a very blunt tip on it, where this one has a very pointed tip on it. And I needed this one to be able to get in there and get those knot stitches done. And the reason I'm calling them more stars than knots, and that, it hasn't been blocked yet, but they come out looking kind of starburst-ish. So that's pretty cool. And then all of the short rows up here, and it gets longer to the other side. So we go across, it gets wider and wider and wider, all the way to the end. And hopefully this next week we'll have the finish on it and get that finished up. I'll have a shawl to wear. And I'm really liking this bucket bag. Then I have also been working in gloss on the Livy sweater, and I'm going to try to figure out how to put pictures in, and if I can, I will. But this is a test knit, and okay, do not attach to my sweater. The test knit has yarn overs in it that will be dropped. And so this is how far I'm in. I'm just done the first set of yarn overs, and I need to do several rows before I start dropping and doing the next. And I've got quite a bit to go still on the raglan to fit. And yeah, I'm knitting on this. I kind of set it aside because these needles are small. I am working on Chiagoos, and I had the other needles in this size, my regular 5-inch needles, somewhere else, and I picked up the little needles from my shorty set, and I think these are the 3-inch. They're working out just fine because I'm just going in rounds, but because of the size of them, and I'm used to working on 9s, 10s, 11s, in fact 17s this week, so I'm used to a bigger needle, and it was just cramping my hands. So I hold my needles differently when I'm working with double points for socks than I do for sweaters, and I think the way I'm holding this for the sweater, it's just making my hand cramp up. And there's nothing wrong with the pattern or anything, it's just me. So I'm taking turns with this and another sweater that I'm working on. And this is done by, I went over it last week, and I'll put it up there. I think it's You Knit, I Knit, or I Knit, You Knit, something like that, designer name. And it's working out to be a wonderful pattern. I just haven't gotten very far in it, and I will be working on it this weekend. I have quite a bit more to go through. And what else am I working on? This bag. Because I was talking about socks, and last week I talked about everything I was supposed to be doing on my February fix it or frog it or forget it. Yeah, nope. Finish or frog. I cast on things. It just happens. So this is, let's see, do I have it? I believe it's Regia, the kids Regia in, that's the other. It's the problem with having all of these different thingies hanging around here. Nothing is what I wanted to grab. So we'll just go with that. I know it's Regia. It's an Arnie and Carlos. I think that's how you say their name. It's one of those Perfects, I think it is. And so I started a toe up. I don't normally knit toe up, but what I figure is this is not a really big skein of yarn. And I am not seeing anywhere in here where the other end of the orange is. So I think you're supposed to do 2 at a time, one on the outside, one on the inside. Well, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit all the way across and then do the other toe. So I'll have cast on with a toe, and I'll have cast off with a toe. Yes, one will be knit up and one will be knit down. And then I'll snip it in the middle, and I'll put in whatever the edging is that I decide on, and I'll figure out my heel. Now this is supposed to have an area for a heel, but I think these are made for kid sizes, and I'm trying to make socks for me. So it just depends on when I get to that other big orange, whether I'm going to put in the heel right then and put in waste yarn, or if it's too short and I know it's too short, then I will just add a secondary color that matches something in here as the heel, and just have 2 large stripes of orange, one above and one below, or one all below, or whatever. Just play it by ear. So It is a self-patterning. I am very much liking it. I did a modified wedge. This, by having 4 stitches on the outside instead of 2 stitches on the outside, gives a rounded part for your toe to go into on the side of your foot. And once block these little, the beginnings and ends, that's just where I started. I do not do, what is it, something magic cast on, I don't know, I don't do it. I just do a standard Crazy 8 cast on. It's very easy. It works for me. So I cast on, I think 12, and then increase to, yeah, I cast on 12 on both sides and then increased out to a total of 16. No, that's not right. I cast on 8 on both sides, increased to 12 rapidly, and then increase to 16 every other row. And I just like the way that works up. And not much on doing toe-up socks. I don't do a lot of them, but I just figured what the heck, because I'm going to do both ends, just do it that way. So that's how far I am on that. I also decided to do some spinning this last week, and I think it was the day of the inauguration. I spun up, and I think I talked about it in, they were still on bobbins. Well, I plied it up, and this is what it came out like. And I cast on just a shawl, no pattern. Really into no patterns right now, right? It's just a 6-stitch repeat, or 6-stitch increase every 2 rows, and it'll be more of just a triangular shawl, and that's how it's knitting up so far. I'm really enjoying it. I love the colors. This is from Apothecary Fabrications, and she doesn't have a name on it, but I think last time I talked about it, it was what I called the Americana colors, and it very much came out looking like that. And I'm just going to do this whole ball, and I will probably continue this pattern of eyelets with garter ridges. Not sure if you can see that with the lighting, but there's garter ridges on there. And came out with about 300 yards. So I don't know how big it's going to be, but at the edge I'll probably put on ribbing or some kind of lace. I haven't decided. I'll do something more than just garter and eyelets, but I'm really liking how this came out. And that's where I am on that. There are times in your life where you don't want to knit on something that's super tight just because of how tense you are, or I am. You know, I'm talking about myself. So I pick up what I can. And I am using, again, my cat stitch markers on that, and again, my Tiagu. And I am actually using a 10.5 on Tiagu's on that one. Then, because I had nothing better to do, right, I decided, I had gotten my knit collage last week in the mail right before I recorded, I believe. Dry throat. And so that's knit collage. And this is what the fabric strips ended up looking like. Very gauzy, very light, airy, but it knitted up very beautifully. So I went and I picked up my knitting. I think I have this at a point, of course not. that's okay. I can flip it. So I have done the top, and I am going down the body. And this is so light compared to the other. This came out wonderfully on the knitting. Let me hold it so it can be seen. And this, of course, is the pixelated cardigan from Knit Collage. They have their own yarn that they normally do kits in. I ended up ordering the fabric yarn. The super bulky that I have is Mega Tweed from Premier Yarns, and it is acrylic and viscose. And there's 74 yards per skein. And this, at this point, I should be done because I am below 5 inches below the sleeve. But I'm not going to wear it if it's that cropped, and it's not real heavy. So I am going to continue on. I have a couple more skeins, and I'm going to want full length sleeves, or at least bracelet length sleeves. So yeah, this is being knit on, these are Knitter's Pride and size 17 needles, interchangeables that I have. And very much enjoying this. I actually only cast this on night before last, and I was pretty much done with the yoke at that point. And then last night I maybe knit on it an hour, and so this is a very quick knit. I hope to have this finished and possibly be wearing it by the next episode. So again, it's the pixelated, and I had thought to do the fabric in just another super bulky, but I really am glad that I went ahead and I ordered that. And my floats inside. This all has to be woven in still, but got pretty good floats in there. There was only one that I really tugged for, and that was this bottom row where you have the possibility of 7 stitches in between the next. And 5 I'll do and not really think about it, but 7, I didn't lock it or anything because I just didn't want anything to cause that to not stretch. And this is going to be nice and stretchy once it's blocked. And that one I just have in a really big tote bag. Just my Americana tote bag. I don't have any finished objects, but what I'm wearing is the tunnel neck? I think so. This is a very large cowl neck. Can be worn up. Keep your hair, you know, if it's really cold. I wear it down most of the time. Really enjoy this. This was made out of an acrylic from Joann's. Wash and wear. Throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, walk out the door. This was a knit. Why can't I think of her name? I just did the easy eyelet from her. Can't think of her name. Try and put it up here. I made the sleeves just a little bit shorter so that they're bracelet length, because mostly that's where I wear mine. I push up a lot of my sleeves, so this one I just wanted it to be easy. I knit this the beginning of last year, got a little bit of wear out of it towards the beginning of spring because we stay cold here in Michigan, but I'm really enjoying it this season. So much so that I may knit a second one in wool. I may. So what else do I have going on? I have some acquisitions. So I did some grocery shopping. Mustache Yarns had her sweater weather merino worsted. And I got the single. I should have gotten the set, but I only got the single this time. But it is a worsted weight, self-striping, 275 yards in the Hogwarts colorway. That's pretty true to color. And this is supposed to be done for the worsted sock arm sweater. I don't think I'll be doing the sock arm sweater, but I will be doing something in the self-striping. I just couldn't pass it up. I also picked up an I Love You, as in I Heart You. And this was just a drawstring bag, and it looks like the plannings of other bags. I saw her on Instagram, and she had this little skunk. And I'm like, I want that skunk. Well, I didn't get the skunk. And then she said she found more fabric, so I'll be getting that skunk. But there's also, right side up, the zebra. And there's a panda bear, and there's a lemur right there. And I had to have it. And this is nicely quilted, has black on the inside. It is gusseted as a square bucket, so it can be turned down and used as a bucket bag. Nice and sturdy. Nice black bottom, and the drawstring pulls from both sides. So I am enjoying this. It's kind of a mint green color. So I just got this in. I will be using it. I'm glad she contacted me about the skunk, and the way I told her about it was just my way of thinking was, you know, this whole year that we've been under quarantine and all that other stuff, quarantining the healthy, I don't understand, but that's just me. But, you know, the skunk is the symbol of this time period because it's cute but stinky. So being home is great, but stinks that we can't go anywhere. Oh, there's a dove. I hadn't seen that one. I think that's a dove. It says a small can knit in flight. But there's a whole bunch of words around this, a lot of thought, and you know, she put in a lot of thought into what this was, and I just thought it was cool. So there we go. Picked me up a drawstring bag. Then, yesterday in the mail. Now this, I know I ordered it, and I know I had a project in mind, but I have 3 skeins of Cascade Eco Plus. Now, I love Eco Plus. I love Cascade yarns, very workhorse-ish. So I look back in my history on my computer to decide what I might have been thinking about knitting. God knows, right? Because I couldn't remember. And I'm not sure if it was the Adez, which I have knit before but stopped halfway through. And I love that. And it could be because I was looking at it that day and it has the right amount of yarn. Or if it was the Bloomsbury. And in order to do it in this size yarn, I'd have to make a smaller size. So I think I bought more than what I needed in case I changed my mind, but that's kind of crazy. Sorry. There you go. So anyways, this is color 3112, which is a Caribbean blue. And I know this is a color that I pull off really well. I used to have a sweater in this color and I loved it. I don't want to do buttons on this or anything, and that's why I'm thinking it was either the Adez, which is an open work, very cabley, more cables on the back than you can see on the front. I think the problem I had with it last time I was making it was you get through the one side of the front, and on the other side it says, and do it the opposite of what the other side was. And at the time I was knitting it, that hurt my brain. And I understand it's a free pattern. I just don't like having to, you know, I know an SSK and a knit two together are opposites. I know a make one left and a make one right are opposites. I know how to do opposites. I don't want to have to think about it. I just want to do it. And I think it was more on the decreases or the increases. Do not do that, sweetheart. I know you want to lick the plastic, but you may not do that. Okay, Mr. Spot. I didn't want to think that much. And I think if I did the Adez this time, instead of doing it in pieces where I really had to think, I think I'd do it in the round. And I know other people have done that, and I know there's now a PDF or a document on doing it in the round and what charts to use when and what, you know, all that. So I'm going to look more into that and see if that's where I want to go. I still have the original caramel color that I was doing it in. I think it was a Barocco vintage at that time. So I may do the Bloomsbury in the Caribbean blue, and I may go back and again do the Adez in the colorway that I was originally going to. That's just my thought process on it. We'll see. I also, my grandson and my son are huge Star Wars fans, huge. And Tanis Gray came out with a composition. Not all of these are her patterns, but she is the main author listed on the front, main designer. But she came out with the Star Wars Knitting the Galaxy. Excuse me, I said no. You may not do that right now. I know it's noisy and you're going to want it. And so you're going over there to get it. You silly kitten. No. Put it up there. So I went ahead and I ordered this. And I got it off points. So I don't think, I mean, I think it is $29.99 US. That's what it says here. I think I maybe paid $4. So, points are a good thing, but I really like the droid pillows. And the pillows are what sold me on this book. The one that Little Bear saw, my grandson, that when we were looking through something, I forget what, and it came up, I think we were actually looking through Amazon for something, and he saw, it was one of the pictures that were shown with the book, And he said, Grandma, I want that. And that is the Death Star. And it comes out to a 14-inch pillow, I believe. Yeah, it's 14 inches in diameter. Circumference is approximately 44 inches, so that's a big pillow. It's done in fingering weight in a gray. Well, that's funny. It says color A and color B. I don't know if that's supposed to say that there's two colors in there, because I don't see two colors in there. And both of the colors are ammo, so I don't know. Both are fingering weight. Oh, one's Yummy and one's Australia. I don't know. I haven't read the pattern all that much. Maybe it's held double, so it's a worsted weight. One's shiny and one's not. Give it depth. I'm not sure. But it's just beautiful. And so that's what he wants for his birthday in May. Let's see if I get it done. There's a couple other patterns in here that I thought were really cute. I liked the BB-8. And there's the Clone Trooper hat. Wookiee socks. If I did pattern socks, Sarge would so be getting a pair of Wookiee socks. But I do not do pattern socks. This is just gorgeous. This is the Rebel Alliance shawl. It's beautiful. I probably will not be making it, but it is pretty. There's quite a few. This is very simple. It's a General Leia pullover. Very simple with a V-neck. That one is designed by Carissa Browning. I did like this scarf that is the Chancellor Palpatine scarf. Not much of a scarf knitter, but that one's nice. They've got a lot of color work. Millennium Falcon, the lightsaber socks. You can see all of these online. But yeah, this one I don't get, and it's just, I know it's Padme's battle wrap, and I know it's what she was wearing. She was wearing like a Ruana. What I don't get about it, that looks really cool. But when you look at it closer, it looks like there is actually a neckline on it. And Ruana doesn't have a neckline. So I haven't read that in depth on it, but I don't know. Some things absolutely not. They are definitely just for costume pieces. Say you were going to, or at least for me, they'd be costume pieces, like Luke's vest. Not something that you would make to just wear. So I think for the price I got it, with points and all that, it's a good book. Hopefully the patterns are fine. I haven't, it's just out, so there's no errata or anything. Just in case, I will be watching for that. But I know at least one pattern is definitely getting knit out of it. And if I find out those are two held together, then I'll definitely be using a worsted weight and not two yarns held together. So, yeah, there's 28 official patterns. It's a good price. If you look at it, it's a little more than a dollar, you know, $1 a pattern for the price of the book. So that's not bad. Oh. I had one more purchase this week, and I want to say thank you to the person that shouted out to me that I could get this on eBay, and you know who you are. And I had talked about a picture, a crewel work picture that was up on my mother's wall when I was growing up. It came out in 1975, and she probably did it during the bicentennial. And it is this print, and I had wrongly attributed the quote to Jefferson. I think it's Penn, but I'm not sure. It doesn't say on here. It has a signature. I can't read it, but it's obviously not Jefferson. But it is, men must be governed by God or they will be ruled by tyrants. And it is this crewel work. And it is a printed crewel. So when it came in, I got it off eBay for shipping and all less than 20 bucks. It came with everything. I thought it was missing the needle, but it actually had everything. And today I sat down and I separated out the colors, and I don't have one of those embroidery things. So what I did was I just took the cardboard that it came with and I did slits and separated out all of the different colors. And I didn't know how much of this brown there was going to be, so I did extra slits. I still need to get it in color order so I can see exactly what color is what, but now I know that this is dark green and not black, where when it was in that clump it was all seeming one color. Now each of these will be done in, I have to pull it apart and do it in single strand, just like in embroidery, except I believe the black, I think it is the black that is the writing. Any of the black in here is done with, all of the instructions are right here on the back, and I've never done crewel before, so this is all new to me. It says complete all embroidery working only with the stitches indicated, and you had to make sure you had all 17 colors. There was something on here, 3-strand twisted. Only the black is done with 2 strands instead of, or with more than 2 strands, because you want it thick. And you do the background, the blues and the whites and all this first. Then you do this second, I believe. And it's just not going to give anything away because you don't know the colors or anything. So it's just a picture graph, but it tells you over here which orders to work it in. And I'm going to try. Don't know if I can. None of my siblings on Facebook have fessed up to having this. Not all my siblings are on Facebook, but the ones that are haven't told me that they have this, so I'm not sure where it ended up. One of my cousins may have it, I don't know. So I'm going to be starting work on this. The actual print, I have that put in spotters. Why are you meowing? It is all printed up. And I've put it into a snap tight frame that I've learned you unroll so that it's not taut. And then when you're working on it, you roll back so that it's very taut. and that way you don't stretch it when it's sitting in the frame. So this is very loose right now. And yeah, it is. I'm going to be starting in the upper corner and working the backgrounds that it calls for. Hello, you. Hey, you. Hey, you. Come here. Yeah, do you find me? I'm right here. Come here. I think his eyesight's going. I'm going to have to get him into the vet. Oh, now you see me and you're sitting out of range. So, yeah. I got a surprise in the mail. Let me put this over here. Yesterday. And my person sent me some Tomte love. And it's Valentine's Day Tomte. And I love it. Seems like I got a lot, but it's, you know, just things trickling in. I haven't really made a lot of meals this week. I've been doing, they had a sale on imitation crab, which is whitefish. So I picked up some of that and some of the salads, and I've been having crab salads. I was sick for a couple days, down and out. My tummy just didn't like me. So at that time I was liquids only, and that's what I do when that happens. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I did that. I wasn't running a fever or anything. I wasn't worried about, you know, having COVID or anything like that. It was just a stomach, whatever it was. And I got through that. Like I said, it's been light meals since then, so I'm not going to give any kind of, the only thing I do is I buy the salad and, you know, spin it out, put my dressing on it, and then throw meat in, whether it's imitation crab or tuna, or those are about the only fishes I eat. And it could be just ground chicken or ground turkey or something that goes in, because I am protein first and produce second. So though I'm having a salad, it's mostly meat. Cheeses and things like that. But I've been doing a lot of core power and a lot of protein shakes. Today I'm sipping on tea. Yesterday I couldn't even handle tea in my tummy. Don't really have a gadget this week. I did purchase lamps for the bedroom that have USB chargers built in, and so I put those in. And I'm really enjoying not having to have a surge protector also up where, you know, on my side table. So everything's right there. It's really nice. So I guess that's a type of gadget. But I guess this week it's kind of quick compared to others, and you take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.